Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we went on a buying spree, but we've been turned down for London a bunch of times. And it was brought up on the Discord, who said that? That was AMD. Okay, so AMD on the Discord said that it might have something to do with their opinion of us, and I think that's probably true. As I pointed out there, I think it also depends on things like how developed the area is and how strategically important the AI thinks it is. But it might very well have something to do with the opinion. So let's go ahead and improve relations with the United Kingdom. That is going to cost us political power, and that's, of course, going to be a little bit painful. But we're also going to do that with the Soviet Union, because they have not wanted to give up Vladivostok for, I suspect, similar reasons. So let's go ahead and start improving relations here. There we go. And now we'll tick on forward. So that looks great. And we're building a lot of factories. We are capitalisming at maximum capacity at this point. Now, we know that we wanted to funnel more industry to specifically Pakistan. There we go. Everything else here, we believe, is done. So that should be good. We're going to funnel that into Pakistan, which of course means that we need to queue up one more civilian factory here, which we'll go ahead and do. But we need to control London as soon as possible. So we're going to improve relations with the UK as much as we can. And once those relations are improved, then we'll try to get London. And we'll see if they accept this time. We're not given a reason for why they decline. We're not given like a list of reasons, or we don't see their option that what is the term I'm looking for? We don't see the breakdown between the pros and cons that the AI considers to try to determine how they do this in Paradox games. We don't get to see that. So that is sad. Now, France, the French Commune just capitulated. That's fine. And we apparently have a railway gun here. Okay. I'm not sure why they're there, but whatever. It's fine. So that looks good for the moment, and we're building a lot of additional factories for right now. I'm going to allow us to build up some political power here, I think, for a little bit. Now, we do have a subject that may soon raise their autonomy. Okay, that'd be Mysore. For the moment, I'm not terribly concerned about that. We can get all of this dealt with soon enough-ish. Political power is the main loss there, the main issue. So we definitely need to do that. But what I want right now is I want to just wait until the UK is basically maximized, but we can continue to acquire additional territory. So to that end, we can head down over this way, and we can see maybe the Soviet Union will give us this. That's probably not very valuable. What do they think? They agreed. Excellent. So that is great. We can just continue to purchase territory like this and expand at a pretty rapid rate, all things considered. If we look in at our manpower, we can see 33k monthly recruitable. That's a lot of manpower. So that looks great. We're going to try to buy Surgut from the Soviet Union next. They don't want to get rid of that. So let's think about why they might not want to when they were willing to get rid of this. Let's look at the resources. That's probably why. There's no resources here. This has 16 oil. So I'm guessing that's the issue there. Now keep in mind, we can develop some of the land that we've purchased. So that is this over here. That costs 25 political power each. I think we should do it. That's definitely a very good thing for us to do. So for right now, let's just save up the political power and let's get this going. We want to develop these as much as we can, for sure. We need all three of these types of resources, although oil may be a little bit less so. So that's maybe less of a priority, but we're only gaining 1.5 political power per day because of our improving relations, and that's absolutely understood. So let's go ahead and develop this deposit. Seems good. And then we'll come back to the bauxite deposits soon enough. I want to check over here to see if we can ask for London again. We can't yet. Okay. So with all of that understood, It's definitely going to take a little while before we are in a position to really challenge the global order, right? I think at this point, if we were to fight the Allies, I think both sides would struggle. We would be unable to hold this territory, for sure. But I think both sides would struggle if we were to fight the Allies, but we just need to continue to purchase territory from them. That's the primary focus right now, is purchasing territory from the Allies. The Czech Entente, I'm much less concerned about if we were to go to war with them. I think we'd have an easier time with that. So for now, I do want to continue to work on developing these bauxite deposits, and I want to continue to funnel, and let's just minimize this for now. We're not going to be quarrying for a while. Let's go ahead and funnel industry to Pakistan once more, which of course means that we can build more civilian factories, specifically a civilian factory right there. And that seems absolutely wonderful. So I do want to check in on infrastructure. We should definitely be maxing out infrastructure everywhere we can. It's a fairly high priority, both for supply flow if war breaks out in an area, and for resources, although we don't necessarily know that there are resources in these areas that we're building infrastructure in. I'm just going to get this all queued up. It's not possible to build infrastructure over here. Ah, it's all impassable. Okay, that's fine then. So checking up over here, that looks good. Down here, autosave. There we go. And right up over here. And Galapagos. I didn't even know we owned Galapagos. Okay, sure. That's fine. So at this point, we have enough political power to do the bauxite deposits. Let's get that going. Fantastic. So that looks good, and then I do still want to develop the Gawar? Gawar? Maybe just Gawar. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly in the slightest, but we're going to go with the Gawar oil fields next. So we just need a little bit more political power for that. 2.3 per day. That means that we're currently maxed out with the Soviet Union and the UK in terms of opinion. So if we check in on them, they're now at plus 66. Okay. So that's looking good for the moment. Let's get this oil field ready to go. There we go. And that's a lot of civilian factories working on that. That's understood. We have many civilian factories. So Mysore went up to an integrated puppet, or went to a puppet from integrated puppet. That's fine. I don't mind that. Absolutely A-okay. We can funnel industry to Pakistan again. And this is going to go to Urumqi. And apparently caps lock is on. That's exciting. So where is this? This is out over here? I guess because they have a core there. Okay. Sure. Do they have a core? No. Why did it go there? That's interesting. Well, it's not a bad thing, but it is definitely odd. So we can't go for London just yet. We'll keep an eye on that, but we can keep buying territory in other locations. So we can go for, say, Nicaragua from the Mexican Socialist Republic. They accepted. Fantastic. So that looks good, that we're expanding our territory out over here. And like I said, this area we're not going to be able to defend at this time if we had something break out. So what we might want to do is take some of these guys that are out over here. So take like this army here and order them to instead come on over here and frontline like right here. And then we can take another one of these armies and have them frontline down over here. So that way this area is a little bit defended. And we can build some land forts like right here. Like that. Just to make it tougher for them to get in. If war breaks out with the Allies. We don't know that it will, but we don't know that it won't. They're probably not interested for now, as long as they're in this war with the Czech Entente. That's my guess. So that seems okay for now. Ah, we can inquire about London again. So at this point, their opinion of us is up a lot more. And let's see if they'll give us London. Nope, they did not. Okay. It's probably just RNG then, at this point. And we just have to keep rolling it. We can try Leicester up here. Let's see what we get there. They gave us that one. Okay, that's kind of huge. So we can take this unit here, and we want to extend this front line all the way out over here. Excellent. So yeah, that's just RNG then. At least from what we can tell. It probably has factors that influence the RNG, almost certainly, but we just need to think of it as a roll of the dice at this point. So Yugoslavia is continuing to fall, and the Czech Entente not doing so well in this war. We're not surprised about that, to be clear. Wait a second. This is the South American Association here. I did not realize that Communist France was part of the Allies, but I think I remember checking that last episode, the French Commune being part of the Allies. That does make sense. So, in that case, the French Commune capitulated, and France is now a thing. So that's a buffer state out over here. I don't know who's going to win that war. Well, actually, I do know who's going to win that war. And the answer is us. We will be the undisputed victors here. That's very clear. Because we're just kind of quietly buying everything up. We can buy South Yemen, and I would be delighted to do so. Excellent. The Communist States of America gave it to us. So that looks perfect, and we are going to need to queue up more civilian factories. So let's work on that, and yes, I am aware that our construction is kind of a mess right now. We're working on a bunch of different things, but it's okay. I'm not in terribly a huge rush for any of it. I want all of it, and it's all kind of the same priority for right now. So we'll get all of this going. That looks good. Ooh, we can build down over here, too. Looks great. Okay, any infrastructure that can be built out over this way? Yes. Wonderful. And we can build infrastructure up here, too. And wait a second. I have air bases selected. That was a misclick. Okay. This makes more sense. This makes more sense. So we'll queue up some infrastructure here. That looks good. But otherwise, yeah, this seems absolutely fine. Air bases. No, we don't want to be building air bases right now. So we're at 7 political power. We can try to buy Vladivostok from the Soviet Union again, and I'd love to do that. They're probably going to turn it down because this is a very valuable location for the Soviet Union. But we can try. Yeah, they're unwilling to part with their land. That's not at all surprising. So I would like to definitely purchase this. This is a capital here, so we're not going to be able to purchase that. But eventually, it'll be fine. How are we doing on our dividends at this point? It looks okay. We'll go ahead and funnel some industry to Pakistan at this moment, because Pakistan still has territory that can be developed. So that looks good. And we have enough political power again to do another purchase. So we'll try Liaoning. Yes, they gave it to us. Excellent. So that gets rid of that blight upon our nation. Now we've got this one up over here. In fact, anything that is not East India Company is a blight upon our nation. And we need to be thinking about it as such. So we can try to buy Tokai from American Japan. We'll see if they give it to us. They do not. That's not surprising. They'll give it eventually. They will eventually give it. So that's all looking good for now. Here in just a moment, we're going to have additional political power. There we go. And let's see if they'll give us this. No. Sad. So, we need a lot of political power to continue to expand. There's no doubt about that, but what we need more than anything is, well, construction time. And this is giving us that construction time. So that seems great. Okay. We can try to buy this here. We got it. Fantastic. So that's absolutely wonderful. So let's hop into our construction and check to see what our infrastructure is like in some of these new areas. Okay, that looks good. And then civilian factories are going to be missing from kind of all over, and we fully expect that. So we'll queue these up wherever possible. There we go. Communist China is returning their expeditions. Okay, they don't exist, so that's fine. They can do that. That was the country that bugged. So we can try to buy Dornod from the Mongolian People's Republic, and we should probably rename that to Doorknob, right? Possibly. Well, we got it. We could rename it. Actually, I don't know if you can in this game. It would be funny, but no. Okay, so at this point, we don't have any tech to research. We don't really have all that much to do other than continue to expand. So this is, down over here. I see. Okay, yeah, we definitely want that. And they gave it to us. Perfect. Note how also a chunk came from Yugoslavia there. The Soviet Union didn't have full control over that state. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. So we can continue to purchase from Afghanistan. They're unwilling to part with their land. And remember, it costs us 10 political influence, whether they do it or not. It only costs us the civilian factories if they go for it. So that's absolutely wonderful. We can get quite a lot of political power, but we're only making, what, 2.3 per day? Yeah, that is indeed the case. So that's our primary bottleneck at this point for sure. We can check in up over here. Looks like there are additional areas around London that we can try to purchase. Let's buy Bristol, if we can. Got it. Excellent. So that looks good. And this front line is a little bit broken, but that's fine. And then we can try to purchase, say, Southwest England. They got it. And we apparently also got mothership aircraft advancements. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So we're just going to continue to purchase territory over here, and that may increase the odds of them giving us London. That would be very good for us, of course. So we can purchase Portsmouth next, or I guess Sussex. There we go. All we need now is the Greater London area, and we have it completely surrounded. So that looks good. We'll continue to push up over this direction. We're East India Company, right? We originate from the UK, so this is absolutely it makes sense. It makes sense. We're going to try to buy the West Midlands next. They're not willing to give us that one. Fair enough. Not yet, anyway. They'll do it soon enough. So that looks fine for now, and at this point, I do want to continue to queue up civilian factories. So where can we do that? Down here? Looks good. So we'll get all of that going. I'm not too concerned about resources as of right now. I feel like we've basically got everything we need. We just need to expand. So we'll just continue to queue up all of that. I'm wondering, do we hold anything down here? No. Okay. That's fine. I am still surprised that we own Galapagos, but sure. So that all looks fine for now. I want to continue, I think, to focus on taking over England, if they'll let us. So we can try to buy Wales, and we got it. Excellent. Next up, we can try to buy Lancashire, as soon as the autosave is over. Unwilling to part with him. Okay, that seems fine. Next, we would go for Yorkshire. This would cost us 10 civilian factories. Right. Okay, that's noted. We definitely want it, though. Unwilling. Okay. So we'll have to come back to this later. That's on cooldown now. We don't have any more that we can go for then. But I do want to queue up additional civilian factories because we, of course, need to keep our investments flowing. So that all looks good. And we'll have to find another place to go after for the time being, other than England, but this is okay. So, those are queued up now. Do we have anywhere else? Ah, Wales. Perfect. We, of course, could probably get some additional infrastructure going in some of these new areas. So we'll get that queued up as well. Looks good. Okay, so what else are we interested in buying? Well, this would be from Yugoslavia up over here. Where is this? Where is this? Ah, over there. I see. You want that, Yugoslavia? No, they don't. Okay. Well, we'll try to buy from Mongolia then for right now. Excellent. And we've just got to continue to expand and build. Capitalism at its finest at this point. The snowball is rolling, and we just need to continue to snowball. We're at the point now where it's going to be really tough for anyone to actually defeat us militarily. Soviet Union is unwilling to part with this. Oh, this is why. Look at those resources. That'll do it. So it'll take us some attempts to try that. And I'm wondering, how long is the cooldown on this? We can't go for London yet. So that's noted. We could try to purchase Alexandria from the UK. And they gave it to us. Fantastic. So that gets us Egypt pretty unified over there. And we're definitely continuing to expand at a rapid clip. So at this point, we probably need a few more... No, probably about it. We definitely need a few more civilian factories built. And we'll just continue to work on these investments. Excellent. So we're probably going to have to stop buying at some point, right? Actually, we're making really good progress on this. We're a lot further along than I thought we were on this construction. That looks good. That looks really good. So infrastructure up over here needs to happen, and we need infrastructure in Alexandria as well. Otherwise, that looks good, and we can do more purchases. We're actually keeping up pretty well with this. So our construction is absolutely not a bottleneck in the slightest. The only bottleneck here right now is our political power, and that seems good. So we can purchase right up over here. Soviet Union didn't want to do it. Okay, we can try to buy Benghazi. Surprisingly, they gave it to us. And then we can try to buy Kolyma from the Soviet Union, which is up over here. They'll probably give that to us. That's pretty valueless land as far as they're concerned, I think. Yeah, for sure. So now the question is, with all of this that we've purchased, is there anywhere else where we can develop resources? Well, we can apparently develop the Gahawar oil fields again. And I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly still. So that's definitely a thing that we could do. We can also continue to work on just purchasing. And I think we're going to do that. I'm not too concerned about oil at this time. So that's looking good. We are just spreading our tendrils. I love it. Although I'm still very, very, very interested in getting London, because that will allow us to put an end to the taxes for good. And we really want to do that. So next up, let's see what we've got up over here. They'll probably give us that. Yep, they did indeed. Fantastic. Next up would be from the Libyan electorate. They're going to run out of terrain that they can actually give us eventually, right? Well, actually, we're going to be able to loop around over here and then just directly be annexing Tunisia again. So that wouldn't be bad. They'll probably... Oh, they're unwilling to give us that. I'm surprised about that, because this is just desert, but it's because of the oil. Okay. That's fine. We'll get it eventually. So, there's still the UK territory over here, and then there's the Commune of the Sudan. So that's all a thing. We can buy Bornholm from Denmark, maybe? We'll see if they'll give it to us. They did. So we now hold this up here, which is very, very strategically useful if a war breaks out, specifically with the Czech Entente. So that's definitely going to be interesting. But we do need to queue up more civilian factories, and it is about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that after we're done getting these factories queued. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on expansion here. We're going to try to get the UK to give us London again. We'll see if it works. It probably won't. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Aurelio, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.